Hi ladies, there are a few things that I would like to go over. These are specifically for for the trashy junk journals and also deconstructed art journaling. Because over there in those two groups, we do lots of swaps. Now, Tina and Yvonne and myself do them over in the deconstructed art journaling, and Yvonne and I do them over at the trashy junk journals. Now, the problem that I see occurring more and more are individuals that do not know who their partner is, when it's due, basic information. So what I am going to ask all of you ladies to do, if you have not done this already, you need to do this. The irony is, in both of these groups, you ladies make journals of some sort or another. Yet, you do not have a personal journal where you keep all of your swaps and all your information. Because if you did, we wouldn't be continually asked the same information. So this is what I'm going to ask of all of you. If you do not have a personal journal where you have designated specifically for your swaps, you need to do that before you join another swap in either one of these two groups. They're very simple. You can even just get yourself a composition book. It really doesn't matter, but it needs to be specifically for your swaps. Because I know if you ladies are swapping with me, you are swapping in other groups also. So you have multiple swaps going on, and that's why you get confused. Now, because I have so much on my plate, I do not swap in any other groups. I only swap in my three groups, which are the deconstructed art journal, the trashy journals, and I have a textile group. And those are the only ones that I swap in. So I have this book that I keep all my swap information in here, and I have a little tab, so when I'm doing my swaps over there with deconstructed, I know to put it there. If I'm doing one of the trashy ones, I know to put it here, and so forth in the textile. And this is where I keep all my information. So what is the information that you should be keeping on there? You should put the name of the swap, the basic instructions that go along with that swap, which is like the dimensions, how many pages, and if there's a theme, the due date of your swap, and the names of your partner or partners, depends on the swap, and what group it's to. If you don't have a special place for each group, well then you're going to have a name, you're going to have a date, you're still not going to know what group that's for. So you need to separate your different swaps from the different groups that you are a part of. So that's a very important thing for you to do. Now also the instructions, those are very important for you to write down. And specifically, we're having an issue with the signature swaps that Yvonne is hosting. Now, she was very clear in her instructions. I'm not going to talk necessarily the dimension, but I'm going to be talking about the amount of pages and basically what this swap is. I think some are misunderstanding what the swap is. You are swapping a signature. And what's happening is the things that people are receiving have way more pages than the description of what it's supposed to be. And it has a front, and it has a back, and it has all kinds of stuff inside of it. And it's basically a journal. Now, the whole purpose of only doing a signature, and there were several reasons for that. The initial reason was that lots of individuals, because of their finances, cannot be swapping journals. So we thought, well, What we could do is we would swap the signatures, which are thinner, very lightweight, and it would not cost obviously as much as a journal. That would give the opportunity for more people to be able to join into the swap and not feel left out. And at the end of the year, they would have a really nice journal that they could put together from these signatures from various people in the group. And it would be a nice little keepsake that they could have. But what is happening is they're getting stuff this thick. It's already a journal. So by the time you get 12 of these, it's not going to be a very attractive journal at the end because you're going to have all these big old things cramped in there. So that's one reason. Another reason is it's expensive to mail this. And the whole purpose was to keep the price down. All right. So now you have a person that follows the instructions and they feel really good about what they've done and what they've made, and they're very proud of what they're sending to their partner. And they're sending, something like this. It has the amount of pages that Yvonne has said, which is 3 pages folded. So you're talking about just this thick with, you can do your decorating, you can do your embellishments, you can do whatever you want, but it's small so that you can get 12 of these and create a journal. All right, so you do what you're told because you're following the directions, and then you open up your mailbox and you have this big old giant thing. It's gorgeous. It's a standalone journal, and now you feel bad because what? You followed directions. So be mindful of this. Some individuals are sending these and they're very, very expensive. And that defeats the purpose of why we're doing the signatures. Yvonne said she wanted only 3 pages folded, and that still gives you 12 pages to work with. Do not make it any bigger than that. When you do that, you not only cost yourself more money, it's not following directions, and then when it is going to be put together, it's not going to be a very attractive journal. They're going to have to keep them all separate. The big ones over here, the ones that follow directions will have to be over here, bound together. And like I say, it just defeats the purpose. So please, when you are doing a swap that is organized by the group, please follow instructions. It makes life easier for everybody. All right, the other thing that I wanted to address is everyone in these groups are very generous, and we really appreciate that. It's a nice thing that you want to share your goodies, your ephemera, your little keepsakes with other people in the group. But what's happening is that, again, we're trying to keep the postage down, and then on top of it, then you pile on almost as much Happy Mail into the swaps, as much as the weight is as much, if sometimes more, than the actual swap. Now you have individuals, again, that are very limited in their funds, and they can't do something like that. So what happens? What happens is that individuals hold back from joining swaps because they feel that they cannot afford it. They can't afford to put all of that stuff into the envelope in addition to the swap. Are you expecting it in return? No. I know you are sharing this out of the goodness of your heart, but you have to stop and think about the other person, how it might make them feel, and it makes them feel bad in the sense that they don't have the ability to give as much as you can, and so then they don't participate at all. And that's that's sad that you have individuals that want to participate but hold back because they feel that they cannot contribute as much as you do into the swaps. So the suggestion is, when you are in a swap, go ahead and put one or two things in there. That's fine. That's no problem. But, when you've got 20 things in there, the best thing to do with that is if you want to give Happy Mail, do it separately, and maybe do it to someone, send it to someone else in the group. We have all that mailing list. We also have that list of the wish list. I'm sure if you go and you look and see what people are looking for, you have some of those things. Go ahead and mail to them. There's a lot of different ways that you can share your supplies with other people, and they can appreciate it because they just get it as Happy Mail and it's just a surprise, and it won't affect people wanting to join swaps thinking that they cannot give as much as you. Okay, so so the reason I bring all this up to give you kind of a window of how it is from Yvonne and myself's side when it comes to the swaps. In the trashy junk journals alone, this is just in that group, in the month of February, there were 231 different individuals that joined swaps, and these would all be due in, whoops, I guess I need to spell. These would all be due in March. Now, if for whatever reason you did not write down your information and you ask us, oh dear, I have a swap, I don't know where it is, I forgot. Well, if you, and some don't even know what group they're in. They know they're in my group, but they don't remember which one. So that means we have to search 3 different groups to find your name. And it isn't really all that simple because you don't even know what's the name of the swap. And so if only, let's just say 90% of you are doing fine, and just 10% of you are, not, putting stuff into their journal. So I'm still talking about 23 people a month. That means almost every day someone is saying, I don't know the name, I don't know where it is, and we have to go hunting. Now, the way that we have to hunt, you can hunt yourself, because this is what we have to do. We have to go and look over in the files. We have a file that has all of the names of the individuals that are in the swaps. But again, there's 231 names I have to go through to find your name. And then it may not even be that group. It may be a different group. I've had occasions where it wasn't even in my group at all, and here I was searching through all my groups, all these hundreds of names, trying to find what swap you were in. So then I get back to you and say, oh, I can't find you anywhere. And they go, oh, I'm sorry, it was over at blah, blah, blah. Well, thanks a lot for letting me know after I've, spent an hour trying to find this swap for you. So it's very time consuming. It's very frustrating because it's in the feed. Once the swap closes, all you have to do is on the search box. If you can't remember anything, you can remember your name. Punch your name in, and any of your comments, any name that your name being highlighted will pop up. And so eventually you're going to find where that swap is. So you have that avenue. You can go to the files. You have that avenue, and the best avenue is to keep your own record, so that you just go open it up and you know exactly who you're swapping with, what you're swapping, what group, and when it's due. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple, and it doesn't lead to any confusion on your part or on my part. So starting with, we're already halfway through March, so more than halfway, 3/4 of the way through March. So April, when April comes around, You better know who you're swapping with, what the name of the swap is, what you're swapping, when it's due, and the specifics about it. Because if anyone asks me, I don't remember, well, you're just going to have to search the way I would have to search. I don't have any, magic wand. There's no way for me to find it any other way than the way you would have to research it. You have the exact same information that I have, and it's all right there in the group. So it is now your responsibility to take charge of your swaps. We do all the work behind the scenes, and all I ask is that you write it down so that you know what you're supposed to be doing. And it makes my life, Yvonne's life, and Tina's life so much easier, because we're here to have fun, not to do work. I don't feel that Yvonne and I need to be spending all this time. Her and I both have full-time jobs. She just got a raise. Not a raise. I bet you she wish it was a raise. She just got a promotion. So she's going to be working more hours. And so the time that we have for our crafting, we want it to be fun, not going around trying to get information. So please, your cooperation is asked for. Again, the majority of you are already doing this. This is for the 10%. Was when I was making a new one. Again, it's just very simple. I got my little swaps on there. You can write and make it out of anything. Make it out of trash. Have fun with that, and post pictures of the journals that you make. I'm sure other ones will be inspired by what you make. All right, ladies, my rant is over. Have fun, and let's get these swaps rolling and doing it in a way that makes it easy for everyone.